Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Tiger Talk. We are live at Melvin's Restaurant, as we are each and every Wednesday here during football season. Got a great crowd and you got plenty of time for you to get out here and get you some good food here. Melvin and Diane and their crew serving up things. And it's a big week as it's Ruston Week, week 2 of District 2-5A play. Before we get to that, and I introduce Neville head football coach Mike Collins, who's with us every Wednesday. I'd like to remind everybody that the first segment is brought to you by our good friends down there at H. Michaels. H. Michaels on Forsyth Avenue for years been supplying local teams, local coaches, local organizations with everything they do, from digital and screen printing to the equipment. They can take care of you. You need to go see them today. Well, Coach, you finally got to start district play.
We did.
And after a tough 5 weeks, you go down to Pineville, and maybe from the outside looking in, it might be just what the doctor ordered. You were healthy for the first time all year. It looks like you got out to an early lead, and you really never looked back.
Well, we didn't. And, you know, the thing I liked about what we did in the ball game was, number one, we minimized our penalties. We minimized our mistakes in the game, and we did exactly what we wanted to do. We went out there and we took the ball and we scored it, and we came out on defense and we stopped them. And, you know, and we didn't let up.
No.
You know, we didn't let up. And we had 42 by the half, and so that was a running clock. And, you know, the second half went pretty quick.
It did.
Yeah. So, but, you know, I thought our young men did a great job of continuing to play. Didn't matter, you know, all the way through the ball game, no matter what the score was. Mm-hmm. So, and that's something that we take pride in, and is the fact that we want to make sure that we finish a ball game.
But complete of a performance that you've had offensively and defensively, the stats definitely can attest to that. But you score touchdowns. On two of the first 3 plays you ran offensively.
Yeah, we did.
Part of the highlights, I believe, we were close to half, and we were looking around at hardly any total yards offensively there in that. In the first quarter, you had negative 10 for the Rebels, and it didn't get much better from there. You were chasing them around all night, and they couldn't get anything going. So defensively, the pressure was on them as well.
We did, and you know, I mean, anytime you can get out to a lead, I think it's a lot easier to play defense. You know, and if you do make a mistake, you know, you're able to recover from it just because you already have a lead. Mm-hmm. But at the, you know, on the other hand, it's always better offensively if we can just be consistent in what we're doing. We don't have penalties that put us behind the chains, and we didn't. So we were able to move the ball, and then, you know, they gave us a different look on defense from what we had seen on video, and they continued to stay in it, which, you know, hey, we took advantage of it, and you know, our guys did a really nice job of, you know, seeing what they were doing, and then, you know, us executing the plays that we wanted to execute against them. And then we just took it and started running the ball, even though they had 9 guys in the box. So it was, you know, I thought our guys did a really, really good job of making adjustments throughout the ball game, you know, on both sides of the ball for what they were trying to do to us. Mm-hmm. Didn't matter, you know, whether it was what they did defensively or what they did offensively. You know, we adjusted and did a nice job all night long.
The end of the game stats were kind of skewed as their speedy receiver is a good athlete.
Yeah, he's very fast.
Broke loose on a couple of big gains, but other than that, I mean, it was a good run. You limited Aiden Tate, their running back, who played quarterback against us last year, and then came in. He didn't have hardly any of a night. You contained him as well as anybody has this season.
Yeah, I think they had -2 yards rushing for the ball game. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, anytime you hold somebody to minus yardage rushing, you always have a chance to win a ball game. And, you know, so that led to it. And their little wideout did a really nice job. He's a really good football player. And, you know, has great speed. And something that we were worried about going into the ball game was, you know, him. Mm-hmm. Him and the tailback for sure. I thought our kids did a good job on him. And, we let them get loose right there at the end of the ball game. And, hey, it is what it is. And, you learn lessons from it.
Yeah.
And hopefully our guys see that those are the kind of things that we're talking about. Got to get lined up correctly first, okay, and then, execute the plan. And when you do that, you always have a chance to win. And I thought that's what we did on both sides of the ball. We did a good job of executing the plan. Knew what we wanted to do offensively, knew what we wanted to do defensively in the ball game. And I went out and did it, and so we were very, very successful.
Final score was evident of that, 56-6. You got some extra guys in the football game there in the second half, and they were able to execute. And put some points on the board for you as well. Yeah. As like you mentioned, it was 42-0 at half. So let's get into some of the highlights. There was a lot of them. But there's a few things that you want to point out. Yeah. One of the deals is starting off with special teams here and how important this is. Yeah.
Well, this is River Sorrell kicking off for us. And, he has the ability, such a powerful leg that he has the ability to be able to kick the ball in the end zone. So they get no chance to return it and run it out. And anytime you can do that, then they have to start minus field position. And, wanted to make sure we showed that because I think that was a big key in the ball game for us. And it's a big key in every ball game. Yeah. Ability to be able to kick the ball in the end zone where they can't return it out of there. And somebody asked me the other day, hey, Coach, the guy was in the end zone. Well, the ball was not in the end zone is the key. Yeah. It's like putting the ball to score a touchdown is the key.
Plane. Yeah, it's the invisible line.
Yeah. And so, anyway, that's where the rule is. And, like I said, because they were talking about the Ash West Monroe game, the guy bringing the ball out at the end of the ball game. And they said, well, he can bring it out. Well, yeah, he can because the ball did not cross the plane. And, so anyway, that's one of the deals. Whenever we don't kick it all the way in the end zone and they've been able to run it out, and they're thinking, oh, he stepped in the end zone. Well, that doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Well, getting it in the end zone, and Sorrell definitely has done it for you a number of times this year and hopes to continue to do it, especially over the next few weeks. Okay, first play from scrimmage. Yep. You talked about that look, and here's Zaylen Young.
There it is right there, right off the bat. We recognize what they got going on, and, Parker does a really good job right there and gets the ball to Z. And, of course, Z has done a really, really nice job all year long. Yeah. And,
big games, another big game last week.
Another big game again, 100 and, I don't know.
60-something.
Yeah, and it's been 160 to 170 yards every week. So, I mean, as long as they keep giving it to us, we're going to keep taking it,
And one of the guys we're going to talk to later on, Jamarian Roberson, finishes it off right here.
Well, the good thing about J-Rob right here is, he has such great speed and he's got great lateral quickness. And sometimes he don't always run it where he's supposed to, but just bounces it out there and takes it in for the score. And, we're glad to have him back. He nursemaided for about 2 weeks there, and we had to get him back in the ball game, get him the ball, see what he can do with it.
Defense was playing there. I mean, he 3 and out, and then it was. Here's the third play from scrimmage.
Yep.
You find Zaylen again.
Yep.
And he just it was one-on-one coverage on him and
one-on-one right there, and does a nice job on the route, and guy tries to two-hand jam him, and he's able to get off of it. And
Parker hits him in stride.
Hits him running. It's hard to defend.
On that one. Yeah. That was his first touchdown of the night. I went for 54 yards. When we talked about the defense, yes, we do have some defensive highlights that we're going to go on to. Here's Jalen Watkins with the sack. Juju Burns was everywhere all night.
Well,
he was one of the first guys there.
That's right.
And Jalen gets the credit.
He gets the credit, but just like, Juju had 3 sacks, I think, and a couple of tackles for losses, and he should have had about 6 sacks. And, obviously we razzed him about that a little bit. Mm-hmm. And, it's just about how you attack the whole situation. And, our guys in the back end did a nice job of not letting the guy be able to throw the ball anywhere, gave us time to get the sack. So, it's a positive. It doesn't take just one guy. It takes more than one guy. And, again, everybody doing their job. Everybody does their 111th. We'll be in good shape.
J-Rob again, he gets loose. This one from 26 yards out to cap off a short drive for you.
He bursts through the line right there and does a really good job of, finding his way. And nice job of blocking right there. And we got guys all over guys, and then he makes a nice cut at the back end of it, and is able to score.
One thing I've noticed for 3 is his ability to do that little jump step. I mean, it seems to have developed behind.
I taught him
to
that.
hit some of those. Yeah, well, I mean,
I taught
you
him
were known for that.
Yeah,
as
I was.
growing up. We'll get to some of those nicknames maybe later on.
Yeah,
about this Ruston matchup.
Yeah, boy, I'm looking forward to it.
You talked about being able to establish a ground game. I mean, obviously Parker had a big night, but you also had a big night on the ground, and you got another Jarvis Blackston gets loose from the first play of the second quarter right here.
Yeah, in order for us to, stay sharp, stay fresh, we'd like to try to play some people in the ball game, and Jarvis has done a really good job, did a nice job while J-Rob was out a couple of weeks there. And, he's a very powerful runner. And then, he was able to outrun him after he got through the line of scrimmage there. And again, it takes some blocking and some guys doing their job up front to be able to get a chance to be able to break through the line. And, so again, it takes everybody on the team to be able to get it done. And, proud of the way the offensive line blocked in the ball game. And, we're going to have to do a really good job with that again, this week.
Coming up this week as it actually turned the heads of a couple of the Pineville students there because you could see our camera angles were a little bit lower than they normally are over there at Pineville. But we got the back of a couple of nice heads of hair and a couple that didn't have it. Yeah. But anyway, okay, let's see. Another big-time pressure. This seemed like everybody was chasing a quarterback. This was the backup that had come in after the starter had kind of been banged up a little bit.
Jay Reed misses him. And then we got the other 5 guys chasing him, and then he just chunks it and throws it away. And I don't know where the guy is, but it's guy's pretty elusive there, and I think that's why they put him in the game, and just to try to avoid the rushes that we had. And they had played him in some other games, and we'd seen him play, and did a good job, and we thought. We were a little bit worried about him getting in the ball game and them maybe running some quarterback runs and stuff just because he's athletic, and but they didn't, so didn't have to worry about it.
All right, last highlight of the night. This is Greg Smith with the scoop and score on the botched extra point, or back field goal, rather.
Yeah, and I think the big thing was this was after one of those long passes.
Yeah.
And, as you watch everybody, the smart thing was nobody turned around and blocked behind the ball. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, we got guys chasing it right there, but nobody blocked. Dante runs right by everybody. It doesn't block anybody, which is the smartest thing to do. And then, everybody else is outrunning everybody in front of them. So, again, we, we're able to scoop and score and, big play for the guys on defense there.
And put 7 more points on the board.
Yeah.
And then I believe I forgot who it was that they got that last touchdown, but it ended up being 56-6 after they had that late score on that from number 6. So anyway, if 56-6 was our final, you get Pineville out of the way.
That's right.
And here we go into the teeth of the district, and it starts off with none other than the Ruston Bearcats. Everybody's talked about it. It's the 100th meeting, and it's a big deal. It's the third longest rivalry in the state, I believe, as we're looking at. And I know we'll talk about it a lot more coming up here in this final segment. But before we go to break, I know we've got a lot of stuff going on. This is fall break this week, so the kids are out of school. So there's going to be a pep rally, I believe, this Friday night over at the Rankins Pavilion. That's in the south end zone that we'll have. You can see that. The tickets will be on sale Thursday from 4 to 7 in the stadium ticket office. I know Pam Jones and her crew will be in there doing all that to get those tickets. If you're looking, we're not going to be there Friday. I don't believe so, because there's no pep rally Friday, except for the one Friday night at 6. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Got a lot of it going on.
And
so
a few honors and a few other.
NAFA night as well at halftime.
We'll
honor the alumnus of the year or alumni of the year, several of them, I think. And
we're going to talk to you about them there in that final segment too, as well as some old coaches from both sides will be out there for some
I think we got golf carts for them, so they they can get out.
So they can all get. You just ride them over the field.
Ride them out there, man.
Well, get it. Well,
ride them out there.
The names that you'll see out there on Friday night, it's going to be impressive.
It will be. Guys, we talked about, how much history there is between the two schools, number one. But number two is how many guys have coached at both schools, and that's where I think
the coaching trees,
all the rivalry stuff has really gotten, is gone to because of the ability those guys have coached at both schools. And one may have started at Ruston and ended at Neville, or one at Neville went to Ruston, so on and so forth. So it's or they've gone to other schools in the area as well, but coached at one of the two schools and been head coaches and been very successful head coaches at those schools. So, I think it's a really nice thing for us to, honor those guys and let them be the honorary captain in such a, with a unique 100th ball game between the two schools.
Well, it's going to be a big night this Friday night. We want you to get your tickets tomorrow. If you hadn't gotten them already, from 4 to 7.
Get them early, please.
Get them early.
Yeah,
and,
that way you won't have to wait in a line.
That's right. We want to get everybody in the stands as fast as possible. Okay. Out of time on our first segment. I know Justin's ready to go back to break there in the Sunday 98.3 studios. We'll be back with a couple of players. We'll get those guys going. As the captains for next week, you'll see who they are when we come back. Stay with us.
All right, Mr. Mayor, we are done.
Thank you, Doc.
Yes, sir. Miss Gwen's going to get you all seated and ready to roll. Nothing to eat or drink for 3 to 4 hours.
Come on, Doc. I was hoping to get myself some po' boys and tamales.
No, Mr. Mayor, you can't do that. But if you could, where would you go?
We gotta go see Chris Lewis at Coney Island Connection.
Stop by Coney Island Connection, where you get more than just a chili cheeseburger and a chili cheese dog. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Right here at Coney Island Connection.
Around here, family is more than just a last name. It's who you show up for. For generations, the Compton family and Arklitex Windows and Doors has stood by this community with honesty, hard work, and a handshake you can trust. Because every window we design, every door we assemble, isn't just about your house. It's about your home. Family owned, community rooted, Arklitex Windows and Doors, a family business built for your family.
At St. Francis Health, we're focused on serving you with a dedication to excellence, innovation, clinical expertise, and respect for who you are as a person. As we turn our attention to the future, our commitment to Northeast Louisiana is at the center of how we move St. Francis forward. Our highly skilled team has one thing in mind: excellence in healthcare. It is our honor and our mission to serve you and this community. St. Francis, official healthcare partner of the Neville Tigers.
At Origin Bank, we understand the importance of community. That's why we're committed to the Northeast Louisiana Food Bank, providing meals to 25,000 of our neighbors across 12 parishes. Through their efforts, they provide about 6 million meals a year to those facing hunger in our area. Visit foodbanknela.org to learn more, sign up to volunteer, or donate to support their mission. Thanks so much to the Nela Food Bank for your community efforts and for partnering with us at Origin Bank.
Imagine having a beautiful smile that carries you through all stages of life, and that beautiful smile begins at Caples and Robinson Orthodontics. To further enhance our patient experience and care, Dr. Caples and Dr. Robinson welcomed Dr. Cammie Laird as a new member of the Caples and Robinson practice. And with over 56 years of combined practice, we are the most experienced orthodontic group in Northeast Louisiana. We use the latest advancements in orthodontic technology, including the Damon Ultima system for braces, and Spark aligners that are customized to fit your life, not the other way around. Our doctors and staff will make sure you have the best experience possible on your journey to a straighter smile. That includes faster and more comfortable treatment that will give you a smile you'll be proud to wear. Ready to get started? Contact Caples and Robinson Orthodontics today at 318-325-9655 and take the first step towards a confident smile.
A sandwich with soup. No, salad.
With Nuke's Pick 3, satisfy all your cravings. Sandwich salad soup, sandwich soup mac, sandwich sandwich sandwich. Such possibilities from $12.99.
Nuke's, extra with every bite.
Hey, it's Misty Hodge with the Hodge Baruki Group, coming live to you from Bill Rupel Stadium. In real estate, just like in football, you need a winning game plan.
And at the Hodge Baruki Group, we call the plays that get you to the goal line. Buying, selling, or dreaming, let me help you score your home this season. Go Tigers!
All right, I'm going to step in front of them just for a minute, but welcome back to segment 2. We've got the captains for this week's game. And before we introduce you to them, I wanted to talk about our second segment sponsor. It's Stat Home Care. They're the Carpenter Health Network. Shannon Newton and her team do great work all over the state, but especially here in Northeast Louisiana. Okay, we got captains for this week, as I'll step out of the way and let you get a good look at them. Starting on your left would be the big defensive end, defensive tackle, Jordan Fobbs-White. You got Jamarian Roberson right next to him. We talked about him earlier in some of these highlights. Brooks Yerger, one of the Tiger kickers in there, and Stephen Hanlon. I didn't call you Bradley this time, right? So Stephen Hanlon, one of the Tiger defensive backs. So, guys, we've been through this before this year, but since we talked, it's his Ruston week. So I want to ask each and every one of y'all, I mean, have you been following this rivalry? What are your thoughts on the rivalry? I mean, this is a game that we've been playing for 100 meetings, right? 95 years. The first one was in 1931. I mean, a lot of this stuff is for a lot of the old people like myself that talk about these rivalries, but talk about being able to be a part of kind of maybe a special night here at Bill Rupel Stadium. I'll start with you.
I mean, it's special. Like, just coming in the week of Ruston, it's something different about it. You know, we come in, and it's just Ruston, like, it's way bigger than every other game, but we just keep doing what we're doing, and we try to execute.
Brooks, same, you know, I mean, you've been around for a lot of these games, and I know your father played against Ruston just like a lot of everything else. What do you when you think about Neville and Ruston, what first pops into your head?
Just the memories, you know, growing up watching the matchup between both schools. You just kind of grow up wanting to be a part of it one day, and I mean, here I am, senior year. We got a win last year, so hopefully we can get a win at home before we're gone. So,
Zara, there's been some outstanding running backs throughout this series. On the Ruston side, you got guys like Roman Malcolm, and then, you know, we've had A.J. Allen and a couple of guys that have made some big plays. You know, from a running back perspective, what does it mean for you to come out with a good game here against the Bearcats?
I mean, like Hanlon said, it's real special. So if I want to do what I need to do, I got to go out there and play my full potential, like 100%, like I do at practice.
It's definitely going to work. All right. Now, Fobbs, when we roll in there defensively, you know, Ruston's probably got one of the better offensive lines you'll see. They typically have that year in and year out. What have you seen from Ruston over the past few years that has stood out?
You got to really play physical, you know. Got to really stay low. Can't let them get under your pads, because if they get under your pads, you 30 yards down the field. So, like, yeah, you got to be really physical tonight. Friday night.
Well, Friday night, tonight, whatever. It'd be physical every day, right? And when that comes to pass, this Ruston rivalry, no matter, you can throw the records out, right? No matter where anybody's ranked. So it's going to be an interesting one this Friday night. Okay, let's talk about this. You know, the first 5 games of the season, you get into district play. You have maybe your best performance of the season against the Pineville Rebels last week. Talk about, you know, having a couple of setbacks there early in the season. What have you done to kind of refocus yourself or stay focused after a couple of setbacks?
You know, we've done a lot better in practice, been executing a lot better in practice. We have ran to the football as a defense, which that helped a lot against Pineville and Sterlington, and it showed in the game. And against St. Thomas More and Oak Grove, I don't think we did a very good job of that.
And you talk about correcting mistakes, focusing not only on yourself but on your teammates. Brooks, anything that stood out to you to rebound from those couple losses?
Yeah, being a kicker, I'm kind of I do my own thing for a little bit, but I get to watch a lot of practice, and Coach Collins has been pushing on the guys that next game is the biggest game of the year, and we keep that mentality throughout the year, and it's shown because I watch these guys go hand in hand every day, trying to get better every day, and it's just good to see that.
It's great, the specialists. You got to get in there and get everybody going. J-Rob, we talk a little bit about that, overcoming some adversity. You had a little nagging issue there for a couple of weeks, but you seem to be back at full force. What did you do to get yourself back ready for district play?
What I did, like I went in training, did what I needed to do to get my leg. I had a leg injury, right? So I had just got my leg back right and back with the team.
Jordan, the defense has been the story of a lot of these things on here in this football season. What have you guys done to kind of not a resurgence, but what have you done to maintain some of that dominance here in 2025?
Like Steven said, running to the football all practice, it really builds your endurance, and it really helps you to really make those plays that you really need to make. Against Sterlington, when they made that big run, what was it? I think on the 50 going to the student section where Malik chased him down. Yeah, running to the ball during practice, it really helps. Really helps.
Well, you talk about that team defense. I know Coach Collins preaches that every day. Everybody's got a job to do, and if everybody's doing their job, that's when you see the success. Well, good job answering the tough questions now. So everybody, they had a good deal. I don't know if you follow the Tiger Gridiron Committee, but you should on all of our social media. But they had a good deal. They were asking y'all some kind of weird questions, right, over the deal. So I'm trying to come up with a couple, and we're going to get to Stephen last because he had an interesting answer to one of them. We might re-ask that one. I don't know, but let's see. But Jordan, when it comes to if you weren't a football player, that's not your deal. What would be what would you seen yourself doing if the football didn't exist?
I don't know. Probably.
See, they asked you about dancing. You said you'd win the dance contest, but then you didn't dance, right? So maybe I missed that one. Maybe it's somebody else. I'm just thinking from last time, but or from that video. But I'm talking about this. But I mean, anything else? Was there another sport that you loved growing up as much as, or maybe that close to what you like football?
I would say basketball, but I've been big my whole life, so.
Not running the floor. That's not gonna be your deal. All right, that's a good answer. Good answer. I appreciate it. All right, J-Rob, would be dream job outside of after you look up 10 years and where do you see yourself? What would you envision yourself doing, like in a perfect world?
I like dancing, so I'll probably be like a content creator, just stuff like that. But I love dancing though, like on TikTok.
Well, if you got to get the views, got to get the likes, right in there. All right, hey, look, that's a different career these days. I mean this content creation can be very lucrative. All right, Brooks, if you weren't a kicker, like what would be your best position? Like, what would you think? Like, what position would you want to play if kicking wasn't a part of the game?
Soccer.
Oh, soccer, just soccer. We go. No more football. We just go straight to soccer. Okay, all right. So, Stephen, you were asked if one of your coaches had a different career, what would it be? And you said that Coach Collins would be a
plumber.
Okay. Yeah. And what would explain that?
I can't really explain it on here.
Good answer. Good answer. So, all right, I'll ask you one of those questions. I had to do that, right? You knew that was coming. I guess the same question. If you weren't here, I know you play. What other sport would you have been playing if football didn't exist?
Probably would have stuck with baseball.
Would have stuck with baseball? Well, you're doing a good job. You made a good choice. All right. Well, that gets us through another segment. You guys are about to be off the hook. So I appreciate everybody sticking with us here through this second segment. Let's wish these guys good luck this Friday night versus the Ruston Bearcats. When we come back, we will talk with Neville quarterbacks coach Stephen Ensminger Jr. So you're not going to want to miss that. And stay with us. We'll be right back right after these messages.
We're running the winning play at Sparks Nissan Kia. Whether you're recruiting a car, truck, or SUV, our lineup is stacked with all-stars ready to take the field. We're talking championship deals, low down payments, and monthly payments that won't sideline your budget. Ready to make a trade? We'll give you top dollar. That's a win in any playbook. Sparks Nissan Kia, where every drive is a touchdown. We're wishing our Neville Tigers the best of luck this season. Go Tigers!
At Jim Taylor Buick GMC, we bring our A-game every day, delivering a home run experience for you, like the thrill of sinking the game-winning shot or finding just the right vehicle for you. Whatever drives you when you shop with Jim Taylor, we put you in the starting lineup. Visit us online at jimtaylorbuickgmc.com or in Monroe, where we are professional grade, and we never stop working for you.
At Marion State Bank, we're committed to the growth of our community, starting with education. From elementary to high school and beyond, we invest in the growth of our students. Because strong roots begin with empowered minds, from local classrooms to high school athletics, and supporting college dreams. Marion State Bank, rooted in education and local athletics. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Chris Lewis. Here at Coney Island Connection, we believe in giving back and showing a lot of love, and it's all made possible because of you. Thank you for making Coney Island Connection a small business with a big heart.
For over 50 years, Cartown has been servicing Northeast Louisiana, and the Neville Tigers have been a huge part of our growth. And for that, Cartown Tires and Service would like to say, go Tigers!
At the Tarver Braddock Foundation, we're focusing on showing people that every act of kindness fuels a movement to touch lives in unexpected, meaningful ways. Your gift allows the Tarver Braddock Foundation to continue turning loss into love, one act at a time.
Thanks to our generous donors, we're able to honor Tarver's spirit by meeting needs wherever they appear through random acts of kindness. To learn more about our mission and consider giving, visit TarverBraddockFoundation.com.
Hi, I'm Christian Creed with Creed & Creed. Whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, you deserve a team that won't back down. So if you've been injured in an accident, make the right call to your local legal team at Creed & Creed and let us help you win today. Let's go Tigers, and remember, home field advantage matters. Call Creed & Creed today. Proudly serving our great community for over 30 years. We are your local injury attorneys.
All right, welcome back as we've reached the third segment here on Tiger Talk. We're still live at Melvin's Restaurant here in Monroe, Louisiana, right there on Oliver Road. It's just been a Monroe staple for years and years and years. Tonight's third quarter is brought to you by our good friends over there at Warrior Media, Jeff Guerrero and his crew with the new programming over there. We've got, 103 Rock, Sunny 98.3, where you can listen to all of the Neville broadcasts, or you're listening to Sunny 98.3 right now if you're in your car, as well as the Soul of the City, Magic 106.1, and a lot more to come. So follow them on all your social media channels. Well, we're always glad to to welcome in our next guest, quarterbacks coach Stephen Ensminger Jr. Man, it's good to see you again.
It's good to be
over here. We were talking over the breaks. Your second year at Neville, and we've got a lot of coaches. This rivalry goes back a long way, and you got the unique perspective as you have coached it at Ruston, and then from after a little brief hiatus, you come back to North Louisiana, and you've been here at Neville. So you've seen this rivalry recently from both sides of the fence. So maybe talk about your thoughts on the rivalry over the years.
Yeah, my very first game was at Ruston was at Neville. It was the first game of the year. And that was A.J. Allen last play of the game, fourth down and
ran
long,
the wrong route, but he scored.
Scored, and it was an incredible game. It was an incredible game, and then the next 2 years at Ruston, we had won that game, and then last year's big game. So it's always a close game. It's always a big rivalry. My uncle Bill Johnson, he's always, he's a big Neville guy.
Yeah.
So when I was at Ruston, he wasn't too happy about that, but he's happy. He's happy that I'm here now, and so am I.
Well, we definitely are too, and year two and developing some of these quarterbacks, you got a good one in Parker Robinson, and he's shown it this year, maybe overcoming a little bit more adversity than he did last year. He's battling some injuries. Talk about maybe his progression from last year to this year.
He's put on some weight. He's put on some weight. He's understanding the game better. He's really tough. He's a tough kid. He's mentally tough. It's hard to keep him out of the game. Especially it's hard to explain to him at times going into a game to where we need him for the whole season, and he gets down on himself because he had to sit out that one half of that game against Calvary, and that killed him. That killed him because he's a warrior. He wants to play, every game, no matter what the injury is. But he's a kid that he is injured, but he goes to treatment 3 times a day, and he takes care of it because he knows how important he is to this team. And he's always calling. He's always coming over, and we're going over practice film and game film, and he's really understanding. The game itself, and he's becoming a leader, becoming a little bit more vocal at times, because last year he was brand new to the team and everything, but he does a great job with with those younger quarterbacks as well, and it's a great room.
Hey, let's talk about some of those younger quarterbacks. You've got Matthew Williams, C.J. Goins, who's a newcomer, a freshman. Right there, but you had one of your quarterbacks move to cornerback in Smith, but you got Matt and CJ. Talk about those two guys and their progression. Because they've had to see action, significant action in a couple of these games.
Those two kids they compete. They compete. They make each other better. They ask a lot of questions, and like I said, Parker's a big part of that. He helps them out a lot, and there's things at times that were things that Parker doesn't see. CJ or Matt will come up to me and say, "Hey, this happened," and they're understanding the offense and learning it day by day, and getting really good at it. And so that helps a lot because of, like I tell them before every game, be another pair of eyes out there, for me and Parker. And so they're coming along well, and they do a lot of things well. They're very different. Matt's throwing the ball a lot better than he was last year. Uses legs well, and he just goes out there and competes. And CJ, they try to put you could put him anywhere in the field. You can put him anywhere in the field. Defense is not stealing CJ. Just putting that out there. He's staying with me. So I have all 3 of those guys over at my house every Thursday, and I feed them. And when it gets late, I got to kick them out. And so, but I enjoy that group. I enjoy that room. They compete against each other. They talk. It's a really good room to have. It reminds me a lot of the rooms that I had over there at Ruston, and just being able to make those kids understand, hey, we're competing against each other, but we're on the same team, and so they've done a great job of that.
Let's go back to Parker for just a little bit. I mean, sophomore year, you talking about your first year at Neville, his first year coming in, and then he moving on from year one to year two. Were there things that you wanted to work on with him or wanted to maybe point out to maybe, I guess not reinforce, but start to progress his, mindset as a quarterback?
Yeah, I tell them at practice, and they're not allowed to hit them at practice, and so I tell them, hey, don't get out of the pocket, stay in the pocket. Try to understand that, hey, at practice, if you get that pressure, stay in the pocket and get comfortable in the chaos, and that will help him just stay in there. And I always mention to him, I always tell him, go watch Joe Burrow. He sits in the pocket maybe too long at times.
The pros.
Maybe too long at times. And but he's always composed. He's always composed in the pocket, but he always knows where his eyes got to be, before the play starts. Parker's a smart kid. In this offense, I put a lot on him. I put a lot on him to be able to see what everybody's doing, to be able to make checks, be able to, change things at the line. And, he's done a great job of that. And to him, he's never satisfied with what he's doing. He always wants to learn more. He always wants to know why, which is great as a quarterback, because you can never learn, you can never learn so much. And so he really wants to build his game day in and day out and just get better year after year. And so I work with him on that. He has a long release because he has a really high release, which is great because a lot of times quarterbacks, their elbow drops, and so when their elbow drops, they push it.
Down.
Yep. Easily batted down, or when the elbow drops, it pushes and doesn't come out the trigger finger as well. And so he does that, and at times, we work on in the off season, and now just being able to work the different arm angles and work his feet. I can tell at times if he gets wide, his elbow's going to drop, and it's going to come out wrong, or it's going to sail on him, or it's going to dive. And so he's working on that, and he's getting better at it, and trying to just quicken up his release a little bit more, just on different throws, and just being able to not stay on the deep ball long enough or too long, and just get down to his second progression, third progression, to his check down. So he's doing a good job of that, and we're going to continue to make progress.
Well, you talk about the second, third, as he goes through his progressions. Talk about some of those options that he's had. I mean, you've got Zaylen Young has obviously been a standout performer for you, but a couple of new faces there in Bird and a couple of freshmen. Maybe the relationship between the quarterbacks and those receivers and how that's been progressing this year.
Yeah, they've been great, and they're only getting better. It's new, and so we always say, right now we're trying to get better every week, and you want to peak at the right moment. And like you said, it doesn't matter what your record is going into, the playoffs. As long as you make the playoffs, it's anybody's game. And so with those guys, they're getting better every week. They still make mistakes, but as long as they're willing to go out there and learn from those mistakes, they're getting better. And like Desi Bird at the beginning, talking about blocking as a receiver.
Yeah.
I was telling when those college coaches come looking around, you can go watch NFL receivers, like those receivers block. They don't just catch, they block. And so he's taking a point within himself to get better at that.
Yeah.
Zealand's been doing a great job. He, strong kid, and you can move him around. You can move him around a lot. You can do a lot of different things with him. And then, you got like Sledge that's got a lot of speed. He was out for the last couple weeks or so, but, he's getting better every week. And so that room makes each other better, and we're able to move those guys around. And you got a young freshman like Reaper that's always learning. And he texted me late last night, and I'm like, you probably should be sleeping right now.
Yeah.
But
it is fault.
He's always asking questions. He always wants to learn. He wants to ask questions. And then guys like Dan Emmons and some of those JV freshman receivers, like they understand where that they can fit in this offense. And it only makes us better to have more weapons to be able to move those guys around, to be able to learn every position. Like I tell them, if you can learn every position, then you're valuable. And so being able to do that and throw and catch the ball with them and get them the ball, and with our backs being able to have like J-Rob and Blackston and them, is huge. And be able to just go through your progression and go from high to low and then get back down and check down. And our running backs have been doing a really good job lately of, knowing who they're picking up in the blitz, and if the backers don't come, they're getting out and checking it down. And so being able to get them the ball in space is huge. So we got a lot of weapons, and slowly throughout the year, and we're able to figure that out with them and get better each and every week.
Well, and it seems to be working, the formula, and you talk about it. Every coach that comes on here, and you're no different, but it's are we better this week than we were last week? What have we worked on? What are we bringing in there? And it definitely shows on the field, and we appreciate all the hard work that you bring to the table here at Neville. So good luck this Friday night with these Ruston Bearcats. Glad you're on our side
Looking forward
this
to it.
year. All right, Stephen Ensminger Jr., everybody, as when we come back, we'll get Coach Collins. He's got a unique perspective on this rivalry. We'll talk to him about that, as well as a couple of things we got in store for you this Friday night at Bill Ruppel Stadium. You ain't going to want to miss it. Stay with us. We'll be back right after these messages.
Sleepy Hollow Furniture and the Falk family proudly support our Neville Tigers. Just like the wide variety of athletics and academics Neville excels in, Sleepy Hollow offers your premium mattresses and adjustable bases, every kind of home furniture, and just in time for your favorite season, quality in-stock patio furniture ready for the big game. Come shop your Neville Tiger family at Sleepy Hollow Furniture.
I'm Dr. Scott Shelby with Family Solutions. When you hear the words Family Solutions, you may not know that we're a comprehensive, strength-based counseling and psychiatric clinic. Family Solutions provides psychiatric care, individual and couples therapy, child and adolescent counseling, psychological testing, medication management. We also provide occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, and ABA therapy in one convenient location. For more information on how we can help your family today, visit FamilySolutionsCounseling.org.
Looking for a great meal right here in Monroe? Stop by Subway and Mama DeLuca's Pizza on the corner of Tower and Lammy Lane. Whether you're craving a fresh, made-to-order sub or a hot, cheesy pizza, they've got you covered. And while you're enjoying your favorite meal, know that Subway and Mama DeLuca's are proud to continue their support of Neville High School athletics. Great food, great people, and a great tradition of giving back. That's Subway and Mama DeLuca's Pizza, fueling our community and our Neville Tigers. When hunger hits, head to Sonic Drive-In on North 18th Street in Monroe. Whether it's burgers hot off the grill, crispy tots, or a classic cherry limeade, Sonic has the flavor you love. Fast, fresh, and made just the way you like it. And Sonic is proud to continue their support of Neville High School, standing behind our Tigers both on and off the field. So swing by Sonic on North 18th Street today, where great food and community spirit come together.
Taco Bandito. I cook it and service it speedo at Taco Bandito.
Taco Bandito on Forsyth Avenue in Monroe and Warren Drive at Cypress Street in West Monroe.
Welcome to the Carpenter Health Network, where we can assist you with all your home health needs.
Promoting healthy and independent living at home with Stat Home Health.
Where advanced illness management is our specialty. Let us help you recover from injury, surgery, or illness with our team of dedicated medical professionals.
Well, we strive to make every day a good day at St. Joseph Hospice.
Let us make the Carpenter Health Network a part of your family by promoting healthy and independent living for your loved ones.
We are the network,
and we are all in.
Go Tigers!
All right, welcome back. We're in the last segment here at Tiger Talk, live from Melvin's Restaurant here in Monroe. We welcome back Coach Mike Collins. But before we get into this final segment, it is brought to you by our good friend Joey Trappe and his restaurant group over there at Traps and the Field House. And they have always good food and always good catering as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
he does.
They help us out.
They do.
They cater the auction every year for us, as well as many other things.
The banquet for us too, as well.
That's right.
And,
so
does a lot of other things for us.
He definitely a good guy.
Yeah,
we enjoy and we thank him for his sponsorship. Okay, Coach, we're going to wrap up, put a bow on last week with the players of the week. Got fall break. We're going to get this photo up, but let's talk about your players of the week.
Well,
there
Desi Bird, Coach Ensminger talked about him a minute ago, just how much he's improved each week. And, not only had a big run for us for a touchdown, in the ball game as well. And probably should have put that on the highlight video. It was pretty good, really good play, good, and just don't want everybody to see it, but, no, everybody's going to see it anyway. I mean, they got that film, and they're going to be able to see it. But, Desi's improved. His blocking's improved as much as anybody's has. I mean, heck, he's just a sophomore. Come in there and done a really good job. You think when you're playing wide out, you don't have to block, and you just kind of run out, catch a pass, and, jog off the ball if you're not getting the ball. And, it's important. I mean, that's why J-Rob's able to break some runs because our receivers are getting downfield and blocking, so he did a great job there. Jamal Fobbs-White's played well for us and, really did a good job in the ball game. He had 5 hits as a defensive tackle, 5 solos as a defensive tackle, which is a lot of tackles. A lot of solo tackles anyway. And did a really good job playing technique and all that. And, he continues to improve each week. And then Brooks Yerger was our special teams player of the week. Brooks
had a lot of opportunities.
He had a lot of opportunities. He's taken over the kicking duties for us again as far as our field goal and extra points. And has done a good job, and really proud of him. I think, 7 for 7, I guess is what it was. And could kick off for us as well, if we had to, and he can punt for us as well. So, he's done a really good job all the way around. So we thought Brooks did a nice job in the ball game. So he was our special teams player of the week.
Good for them as well. Look, and we've got a couple of special awards. It's NAFA night. If you don't know what NAFA is, it's a Neville Alumni and Friends Association. It's a group that does great work in and around the campus of Neville High School. And they honor their alumni of the year and friends of the year every year. And we got a
couple of them here. Yeah, out in the audience tonight.
They are. One of the alumni of the year, Christy Hopper Vincent, is sitting right there. And
her son plays center for us as well.
That's right.
Glad to have her here.
And Pam Jones is one of the other alumni.
Pam does her tickets for us and does a great job there, and along with her crew. And special to both people are very special to our group just because of all the hard work they do, and they do it and they don't get paid.
That's right.
And so anyway, glad to have them do it for us.
Exactly. And then the Friends of the Year, these are people that kind of came into the Neville family. They didn't go to Neville, but they definitely have bought in to everything that we try to do over here, and it's a couple of good ones there. Allison and Palmer Gerald, everything that they've done over the past few years as their boys came through.
Russell McCain's still there.
Exactly, and McCain is
can't get rid of him.
No, you can't. You can't. And then Jason Ewing, who's been around for the last 5 years, and another guy. He's a member of our broadcast crew.
He is,
and but he's always he likes to say yes a lot. And if you ask him if you need something, he'll definitely step up and try and get it done. So.
Yeah, he sticks that mic in my face every week. So
exactly, we try to school him up on the questions you want to answer.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's right.
But
no doubt. Jason, not only is that's the in front of the cameras, the behind the camera
stuff.
That's right. He's done. So we appreciate everybody. Those honorees will be honored at halftime. During the Neville Ruston game this Friday. All right. So, Coach, couple of things for this Friday. Blackout.
Yeah,
right?
blackout. Everybody wear their black, and Neville proud, and we'll be loud.
We're trying to bring out some ghosts there that remain there in Bill Ruppel Stadium. Everybody can run wear the black. That's students and everyone else. We'll have those tickets for you. Open Thursday night 4 to 7.
4 to 7. That's correct.
This year, going into this year, if you look at the nobody's looking at the power ratings, but if you talk about it, the one thing I wanted to do is kind of how close everybody is within the power ratings here at the top, and especially with District 2-5A.
It is.
You know, Ouachita sitting there at the top, West Verno's up there, Ruston, the Tigers are sitting at 5. I mean, there's 4 in the top 6, I believe, out of District 2-5A, and this is kind of the beginning of that gauntlet as Ruston comes to town, and you know, the Tigers got the best of the Bearcats last year over there, and it's a different Bearcat team, but you've got some players that have made some strides. Most notably, everybody talks about the big junior Ahmad Hudson, who's added a few pounds.
Sure.
And it seems like he grows an inch or two every year. But
he's
anyway,
definitely a weapon for him, and you know, he'll be something that we have to contend with during the course of the ball game. You know, but that's not the only thing they have. They got a good football team. They got a great program. Jared's done a great job over there, you know, with his program. And, you know, that's what everybody says. That do they reload? Yeah, they reload because they got a program.
That's right.
And I think that's the thing that stands out. There's one thing we have to do, and one of our players mentioned that, is we have to play with a tremendous amount of toughness in this ball game. We better match the physicality or we'll get run out of the stadium. And, you know, I think our players will be up for the challenge. But, you know, again, I think one of our players mentioned it a little while ago. I mean, this is a big ball game because it is our next ball game.
Yeah.
It's not the biggest ball game on our schedule. Each and every week is, and we got to approach it that way. And, hey, it is what it is. It's the 100th meeting of the between the two teams.
Yeah.
Just been fantastic games over the years. The 5 years I've been involved in it with Neville, they've been – every game's been explosive. It's been an incredible ball game. Always comes down to the last few plays, the last few minutes of the game in every game. But it is what it is, and there's one thing about it. You know this, when both teams hook them up on Friday night, you're going to get a great ball game. And, you know, we hope that what we can do is sustain what we've done in the last couple of weeks, and that's get better and minimize our penalties, minimize our mental errors, and go play football.
Well, you're right. I mean, you look over that 95-year history between the two teams has rarely been a blowout. I mean, hardly ever. I mean, it might have been a couple of scores a couple of times, but other than that, I mean, it's, whether it's in a state championship or quarterfinals or in district play, it doesn't matter. It's a war no matter what the records are. It just happens to be in the last few years. There's been some pretty good records on both sides of the ball. Ruston played for the state championship there last week, was state runner-up to Central as well. And then they come in. Their only blemish on the year is against a very good Stephenville, Texas team that's on a tear. And that was a game that they went into a little banged up.
They definitely were banged up in the game. You know, they play without several of their guys. And, you know, I mean, we've been through it. You go through the season, and you got to have a lot of luck to make sure everybody stays healthy all year long. You know, just so happy that we're getting healthy at the right time. You know, we got healthy when we got this thing cranked up in district play and got as many guys back playing for us as that we possibly can have. And, you know, so it'll be one of those.
Yeah, an old-fashioned slobber knocker.
No doubt,
and
100%.
As you get to it, we talked about this last week. As we were going into Game 6, and it's the sixth different offense that your defensive side has faced.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ruston likes to run that power eye a little bit, and then they have a little flair because of Hudson there.
They
on
do.
The edge.
They have that. Plus, their quarterback is a very good athlete, and he's done a good job. And they've kind of spread people out a little bit, and you know, been a little different in that aspect. And so, I think the thing that you know, what we have to do is do what we do. We got to worry about us, and we can't worry about anything else. It's just like offensively, we got to do what we do. And, you know, and defensively we got to do the same. And then we got to win the kicking game.
Yeah.
Kicking game's been very vital in this game the last couple of years for sure. You know, and we don't want it to be the most – we want to win that part of the game because that's as critical of part of the game as it's been, you know, since I've been here. And, you know, for us to go out there and do what we do – and the bottom line, and then, you know, let the chips fall where they may in the end of the ball game.
Well, it's the preparation. You know, the Bearcats beating Washita last week over at their place, 21-14, in which was a hard-fought matchup between a couple of good teams. And you know, walking into this district, it's not for the faint of heart. It starts here, and you got to start. You do have to take it one game at a time.
Well,
you got to focus all you do.
If you don't, and you're looking down the road to somebody else, that's surely when you're going to get your tail beat. And you know, the plan is to do what we do, and we're going to worry about this one right now, and then after Friday night, we'll worry about something else. But right now, we're worried about the Ruston Bearcats, and you know, I mean, it's going to be what it is.
It's going to be a good one. We hope you're there to watch it in person. You got to feel the bill this Friday night when the Bearcats come to town. All right, Coach. Well, congratulations once again on the win last week, and good luck this Friday night as week 2 of District 2-5A kicks off with a historic one, 100th meeting between the two teams. So that's going to do it for us here from Melvin's. For Coach Collins, I'm Stewart Shelby, and Will Anders over there pressing the buttons, and Justin back in the Sunday 98.3 studios. We appreciate all of you and appreciate everybody that's come out to watch us here at Melvin's. That's it. We'll be back on the air Friday night. We want to see you in the stands. Good night.